Hi, YouTube viewers and subscribers. This is 37 Sweet Pea coming at you, and you can call me Rachel. I have something on my heart. I've been thinking about it for about 2 weeks since it happened, and I just felt really in my spirit that I wanted to encourage, speak out about this thing that has been nagging at me because it keeps happening to our teenagers, especially in high school. They are peer pressure. They are going through a lot of things in home, out home, at school, wherever. There is so much peer pressure these days, and it's suicide. Suicide was one of my teenage issues for a short period of time. I overcame it, and I'm still here today. And so I'm very blessed about being here today, and I really seriously in my heart wanted to speak out over it because it kept tugging and nagging at me, because I know the feeling of wanting to commit suicide as a teenager, and now I'm here of age to speak out on it. You know, I have teenager children in my home, and I have not too much older, two other children that are on their own now. And then I have an upcoming grandbaby, and I just wonder, how will it be? What will be the issue when she gets older? You know, because these teenagers are dealing with drugs and all kinds of stuff. And it's horrifying to think that your child is thinking of suicide. But this is not really what happened to this teenager girl at my daughter's school, high school. She was being bullied, cyber bullied on the internet. She was being bullied by another teenager for whatever reason. My daughter said she was a beautiful girl in spirit. From what a lot of the teenagers in school were saying, she didn't know her personally, but you know, the school, they sent out a telephone call, the principal, asking all the parents to pray for the family, have them in their heart, because this young child was cyberbullied. And you know, and this is a real deal thing. It's real. I know a lot of y'all have heard in different, there is a high school where teachers have went through things with students, and they were devastated, all kinds of stuff with teenagers, and these teens, they go and they don't deal with it, they don't talk to people because they don't feel like they can, and they snap. And you know, there are teenagers, you know, right down the street behind you, that your kids may even be hanging out with. These children are about to snap for whatever reason, you know, and it is scary. And you know, and this has been on my heart. You know, I'm speaking to the young society, the older society, whoever willing to listen. Teenagers, people in general, we got to love one another. And yes, it is sometimes hard to love an individual because of whatever reason. It may be you don't like the way they talk, or the way they dress, or the way they act. They may be smarter than you are. They may have more money than you have. They may even teach you because you don't get what they get. Whatever the reason is, seriously, we have to make up our minds that we are going to speak out on this issue, because it is an issue in high school now, a very serious issue. Teenagers, they're in hiding for whatever reason, and they're going through these things, and there are counselors there, and I'm sure they are. They just may not feel comfortable to speak to that counselor about what they're going through. So yes, and I'm sorry, my shirt, okay. But anyway, and you know, I am just a little Christian gal that loves Jesus, and I just feel in my heart that I really, seriously want to speak out about this bullying. You know, young people, I know adults, they won't deal with certain group of people because they don't quote their status, you know, or they click up with certain people because of what side of town you live on. And you make other people the outside of this whole society, or this clique, or this thing that you have created for your circle. People, we gotta get in a place and walk out this thing love. You know, Jesus, he loved, regardless of what our circumstances were in life and how crazy we are and still are crazy. He loves us. He loves us unconditionally. And I know it is hard sometimes to live in peace with certain people. And they are crazy and they're doing things even with our own family members, friends, co-workers. But let us try to do our best to live in peace with others. Because Jesus simply tells us in Matthew to love thy neighbor as we love ourselves. You know, we got to get a more compassionate heart for other people. And teens, we wonder why they are bullying other teenagers and doing things to other teenagers in school. Let's check out the parents. What is going on at the home? Maybe we can get to the root of this problem that you're having this sudden death with teenagers. Parents, start checking out your kids' emails. When they're on Facebook, on YouTube, whatever those social websites they get on to socialize, go there, check it out. There should be no secrets in your home. I'm checking out my children's Facebook page. I'm asking, what are you doing on YouTube? I'm asking, what are you tweeting on Twitter? I need to know. I ask them, what's on your mind? Are you okay? Do we need to talk? We have round the table discussion. Put it all on the table. And I know it's hard sometimes to get your teens together and discuss because they become so private. They're growing up. They're having different atmosphere changes, different characteristic changes, personality changes. They are going through puberty, whatever. But we have to get a grip on this with the teens and this whole bullying and this whole sudden suicide. I don't want to live anymore. I'm not worthy. And God loves us as we are. He cares about who we are and what we're becoming. And it's just so heavy on my heart. And listen to your children. I have teens and my older children that were teens. My son, he dealt with that same thing as I did when I was a teenager. Unfortunately, when I was a teenager, I had no one to talk to. But I talked to him and I found it out. And I went and got him help. And I believe he's better now. So yes, and even adults, if you're depressed and you're going through these things and you're hurting and you're feeling overwhelmed and you don't think you can talk to any one of you have talked to your friends or your husband or someone else, a counselor. Maybe the counselor ain't enough. Maybe you need to see a psychologist. Just don't sit there and die and sink in that thing that is bothering you and struggling with you. I'm crying out and I'm putting this on the airwaves because my heart is heavy for that one today that feels overwhelmed and don't know what to do and where to go. I have to put this out here. There is no other greater love than Jesus. He loves you just as you are. He said, come unto me, them that are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. All he is standing there with his arms stretched out, waiting for you to come to him. And he will love you and hold you, and he would let you know it's okay. Jesus is the answer today. So if you are depressed, you are overwhelmed, and you don't know what direction to go in, today is the day of salvation for you. Today is the day to find the love that you've been looking for, the hope that you've been looking for. It's today in the arms of Jesus. He will cradle you. He will sing love songs to you. You will experience a new love that your mama, your father, that boyfriend, that husband, whoever it may be that you've been looking for love for, today is the answer. Jesus, he loves you unconditionally, and he's waiting on you to run into his arms. And my friend, I love you today. I love you. I had to say all that. Bless you. Be encouraged. And have an awesome rest of the week. Love you. God bless.